you get your protein and your calcium? And I say, well, I get it from my plants. When I eat a whole foods plant-based diet, I'm basically just cutting out the middleman. So instead of having the milk to get my calcium, of eating beef or steak to get my protein, I skip the middleman and I get my protein and my calcium from my plants, just like those animals. Eat grass and grains, and that's where they get their protein and their calcium. So I just like to cut out the middleman. And the difference between plant protein and animal protein is that plant proteins are lower in saturated fats as compared to animal proteins that are high in saturated fats. With the plant proteins, it's more of a nutritionally dense option with fewer calories as compared to animal proteins. So I eat plants. After a brain injury, it is not the time to go on a low carb diet. Our brains use 20% of our body's energy, and it gets that energy from complex carbohydrates that we ingest in our diet, and our bodies convert that to glucose, which is the fuel our brain uses to run on. And then some of those complex carbohydrates are whole grains, such as brown rice, oats, quinoa, whole grain breads and pastas, beans and lentils, and starchy vegetables such as potatoes, corn, squash, so forth, and fruits such as apples, bananas, strawberries, and pears. So when you're eating to support your brain's health, make sure that you're giving it plenty of complex carbohydrates so it has the fuel it needs to heal. So you might be saying, hey, Kelly, how do I start that whole foods plant-based diet? Well, first check in with your doctor and let them know that you want to change your diet to a whole foods plant-based diet. They may want to do a basic workup such as checking your blood pressure, your weight, cholesterol screening, diabetes screening, your vitamin D level, your B12 level. So first do that, let them know. And then the other thing is pick a date. Picking this date will allow you time to eat your food that's already in your home and then restock it with more vegetables and fruits and whole grains that you're going to want to try for your new diet. And what I usually recommend is to plan to go 100% into this diet, really eliminate all the animal products and processed foods, because what I have found is that people who just make small changes don't end up following through making the full change. And part of the reason is that when you eat processed foods or animal products, um, even if it's in small amounts, it can trigger cravings. So when you're trying something new, a new lifestyle, you don't want to trigger a craving. So I do recommend going into a 100% super clean diet right off the start. I think that you'll have more success in embracing this nutrition and seeing the benefits from the nutrition as opposed to just trickling into it. And some of the benefits is your taste buds will come alive because you're ingesting less salt and oils and so forth that kind of get in the way of tasting the fruits and vegetables to their fullest potential. Helps improve gut health and with the whole foods plant-based diet. And if you're just kind of going back and forth, you're not going to feel that full benefit. And usually first week or two are tough, and then the third week you will notice kind of like this icky taste in your mouth, and it's kind of like you're detoxing. But once you get past that third week into the fourth week, you're gonna really start to notice a difference. And most of the time, I recommend to my patients is to at least give the diet a 6 to 8 weeks trial to see if it's something that you want to do and to continue with. That way, you also have an ending date. So if it's really hard, your uh, things pop up, parties and get-togethers and things like that, then when people say, "Oh, come on, you can have a piece of cake," you could say, "No, I'm going to make this a full commitment until 6 weeks or 3 weeks out." Um, and then I'll go after that time frame, then I'll make the decision if I'm going to stick to this or continue with it. And the longer you stick with it, the less likely you will go back to your previous standard American diet, because you will notice that some of your favorite foods, once you eat them, one, they don't taste as good as the fresh fruits and vegetables and things that you're eating, and two, that you may not feel good after you eat some of your old favorite treats and so forth. And so that can be also another deterrent. Anyway, I wish you luck trying the diet. And like I've said, I love it and have never regretted starting it. I hope that that is the same for you too.